Hello class, my name is Al Tacone, and if you already viewed the course orientation video, you already know that by now. If not, it's me. Welcome to the class. It's great to be working with you over the next 16 weeks or 17 weeks or so. I'm really looking forward to it, towards kind of facilitating your success in the course and facilitating all that you set out to achieve in terms of what you'll do with the knowledge, skills, and experience from taking this particular course. This is Business 120, Financial Accounting, Section 2318 for the fall 2016 semester. If you've already viewed the class orientation video, you found out how to navigate through Blackboard and accomplish all that you need to do during the course of the semester to be successful. This particular video is the syllabus orientation video for fall 2016. So I'm not going to walk you all through Blackboard and all the menu items. I might just graze through one or two of them as we go through the syllabus, but this particular video is related to the syllabus alone. And as I do, even if I teach online, I like to spend a lot of time or a significant amount of time at the opening of the class, whether it's a class meeting or online, going through the syllabus so that you know what the expectations are for the course, what you can expect to accomplish for the course, and the time frame in which you should be accomplishing all of your work. So with that, we're going to get started. Since you're here, you already know how to get to Blackboard, so that's not an issue. We go over to the left-hand side of the menu, which was reviewed in the class orientation video for this particular section. We're focusing on the syllabus in this video, so let's click on Syllabus, and you'll always get the menu, very brief menu, that has only one item in it, and that's the syllabus for this semester, fall 2016, section 2318. You'll see a link there to the PDF version of the syllabus, always available to you. I'm going to click on that, and up should come the Grossmont College syllabus for Business 120 for this semester, with me, Al Tacone, as your instructor. There I am. You can see a picture of me if you watch the other orientation video for the class orientation, and of course by looking at the instructor information on the main menu. All right, let's get started. I am going to walk through some of these portions more quickly than others. The course details, you can see there I am, my name. Then the class meetings are all online, so you're not attending anywhere in particular. Wherever you're taking your online class from, home, an on-campus computer, really doesn't matter as long as you're logging on and accomplishing your work for the week. This is a introductory course, first a course in accounting, so there are no prerequisites. It does have transfer credit, transfers as financial accounting to the CSUs and the UCs. Our section number, as I mentioned, is 2318. So when you send a message to me, if you send an email to me, it would be best if you put in your email business120-2318 so I know the section number. But since I'm only teaching one Business 120 this semester for Grossmont College, you can just put Business 120 in the subject line and I'll know which class that you're contacting me from. My office hours are by phone and online by appointment. The best way to reach me is by email. There's my email address, albert.tacone@gcccd.edu. So the cat's out of the bag. My full name is Albert, first name. That's my office phone number, 760-795-6807. As I said, the best way to contact me is by email. I will respond in 24 hours or less, usually way less than 24 hours. I do my very, very best when I get a message to respond to you as quickly as possible. Again, if you're emailing me at 2 in the morning, don't expect as quick a response as if you're emailing me in early evening, let's say. But I'll always look through my emails and respond to you as quickly as possible. All right, below that, you're going to see important links to the class, our Blackboard site. I'm not going to click on it because you're already there. This is how to access the course, but since you're already here in Blackboard, you know how to do that. You click on Blackboard and then select our link for our particular class. It's the nomenclature is 2016 FA for Fall BUS-120-2318 for the section number. Also linked to the syllabus is the URL for our course in Connect LearnSmart, which is if you have already viewed the course orientation video, you know that's where the majority of what you're going to be graded on every week is contained. That's the link, but as you already know too, if you watched the orientation video, the link for Connect LearnSmart is also here in Blackboard, so you don't have to be in the syllabus to get to the link, and you don't have to type it in or cut and paste it into your browser. All you have to do is be in Blackboard and you'll get to the same place. And just to show you how that works, once again, there's Connect LearnSmart. And if you're in the syllabus, if I did everything correctly, the same thing should work, and it does. So it doesn't really matter where you're at, you will get to where you need to be for Connect LearnSmart. So once again, somehow I got out of our syllabus. Let's go back to that. Those are the links. Moving right along, let's take a look at the course description. I'm not going to read it to you. You can read it yourself, or if you happen to be using closed captioning, you can read it at the bottom of your screen if you have the closed captioning on, if you need that. This is an introductory course in accounting. Basically, this is the first course that you take in accounting as far as beginning your studies. It's also the first course that you would take towards your accounting degree, if that's your goal, whether it's at Grossmont or any other college, including the CSUs, the UCs, usually private institutions, or any state institution. Financial accounting is the first level of accounting. It's the language of business. What we're going to study in this particular course, again, I hope you'll read the whole course description, but mainly we're going to cover the accounting cycle for a merchandising company that's a corporation. And we're going to learn what an accounting cycle is as we move throughout the course, particularly beginnings a little bit more in Chapter 2, introduced in Chapter 1, but a lot more in Chapter 2. You should have some basic computer skills. You really don't need to know much word processing, although you probably do. Spreadsheets, some basic math skills, really add, subtract, multiply, and divide is all you'll need. So, and of course you can use a calculator for any type of calculations, but you don't need a fancy calculator or a scientific calculator. Really the four functions of add, subtract, multiply, and divide is all you really need in accounting, to study accounting. Your student learning outcomes for this course, there's one major one. This one I will read to you. Upon successful completion of this course, you will be able to generate and understand what financial statements are, from where and how they originate, which is really the accounting cycle, how we get there, and what information they provide about a business entity's strengths and weaknesses. So the thing about financial accounting is you'll be studying how to analyze what happens in a business, how to record it, how to report it, and how to communicate it to internal entities and external entities, meaning both individuals and constituents within the organization and outside the organization. A lot of that will be covered in Chapter 1 as our introduction to financial accounting. Really, the end result should be that you're able to use accounting information to make business decisions. That's what we mean here by provide information. We provide information as an accountant out about a business's strengths and weaknesses, because really that's how businesses and management of businesses make decisions on the financial level and really all levels. Again, much more about that in Chapter 1 and as we progress throughout the course. Since this is a syllabus orientation for you, it's really more, the orientation is more about the mechanics and ensuring that you understand the syllabus and what's required of you each week. All right, let's move along to the required text and materials for the course. This is an online course, obviously, so there are online materials for the most part. We use here at Grossmont Financial Accounting Fundamentals. It's the 5th edition by John Wild. The publisher is McGraw-Hill. It is available at the Grossmont College bookstore. If you purchase the book at the bookstore, with it you will get shrink wrapped along with it's a bundle, so it's 3-hole punch shrink wrap to save you some money. But if you buy the hard copy of the book from the Grossmont College bookstore, shrink wrapped with it will be the McGraw-Hill Connect LearnSmart access code. so that when you do log on to McGraw-Hill Connect for Connect LearnSmart for this course, rather than paying for the access to that course through McGraw-Hill, you will be punching in the access code that you purchased shrink wrapped with the textbook. If you don't buy the textbook from Grossmont College Bookstore, that's fine. You do need access to McGraw-Hill Connect LearnSmart regardless. And if you've already done that, or if you're planning on doing it, when you purchase, and again, that's just the same link that I showed you earlier to register for Connect LearnSmart. As I pointed out in the class orientation video, you would click on Register Now, and then you'll start the process for registering, starting with the email address that you want to use and submitting, and you'll be walked through a series of steps to actually either use your access code to get access to our course, or you'll have to purchase it if you didn't buy the textbook at Grossmont College. It doesn't matter to me either way. If you don't have the hard copy of the book, that's fine. Like I said, when you log into McGraw-Hill Connect LearnSmart and you purchase the access code, if you do it that way, you get an e-version of the book anyway. So it's fine. It's fine with me however you do it, whatever works best for you. All right. Again, and in case you're struggling with registering, you can see I put a little note here. If you go way to the last page of the syllabus, you're wondering, oh, I forgot how to log on or purchase McGraw-Hill Connect LearnSmart for this course. The very last page of the syllabus, page 7, has the instructions. Student registration information is included, and of course the link to our course is also included there. This is a PDF, so you won't see any hand scrolling over the link, but you don't really need it, as I said, because there's many ways to access it. And in case you get confused, like I said, that's page 7 of the syllabus. It's there. All right, let's go back to where we were, just so we can pick off to where we left off. That's the required text and materials. I hope that makes sense to you, but at any time, of course, as I said earlier, as we started the video, contact me anytime with questions or concerns. Usually by email is the best, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. All right, required online resources. Obviously, you need a computer with internet access and email, since this is an online course. These are just the links that we already went over, but I put them here in this section just so they're collected in one place. There's the Grossmont College website that will get you, or to get to Blackboard, or you can go directly to this link, gccd.blackboard.com, and that will get you to the Grossmont website. Little hint is where if you watch the orientation video, you learned that I'm also a dean at Miracosta College. So pardon me if I get my places crossed up a little bit. And of course, that was our section number. So this just basically walks you through the same exact thing we went over, and that's how to get into Blackboard. All right, here's where we start to get into the meat of what the orientation and the syllabus is all about. You should be spending about 8 hours a week minimum on this course. 4 hours are considered instructor, regular, and effective contact. The other 4 hours are 4 hours that you're doing that I'm prescribing in order to master the skills and course material. Here, and I'm going to go through this section a little bit more slowly than I have so far. As I said, those 8 hours, which totals 128 hours over the course of the semester, begins every week at 12 a.m. So I consider a work week, quote unquote, for this course to be 12 a.m. Sundays through Saturdays at 11 p.m. So for example, the first week of class, even though the class starts, the Grossmont College classes start on Monday, August 22nd, everything will be available to you for Chapter 1 and actually Chapter 2. If you watched the orientation video for the course, you learned that I open everything up a week ahead of time. For those of you that like to go at a little bit quicker pace, but not too quick a pace, no more than 2 chapters at a time. So that'll be available 12 a.m. on Sunday the 21st of August, and your requirements will be due that Saturday at 11 p.m., which obviously is August 27th. Here's what you should be doing. Every week, the things you're graded on, I highlight in yellow. So you should be reading your chapters every week. I put down about an hour a week, total of 13 hours over the semester because it's 13 chapters. You should be spending about an hour reading your chapters each week. And again, might take you longer, might take less, depending upon how quickly you read and how quickly and easily you comprehend. Also, if you watch the orientation video for the class, you'll see that I have video lectures there. I try to keep them to about an hour a piece. Some of them do go a little bit over. Just one or two might be shorter than an hour, but they're about an hour a piece. And they are lectures that I have prepared for you using PowerPoint. So it's a YouTube video lecture, as you can see here, with my narration using PowerPoint slides. And if you went into Blackboard and already looked, or you watched the orientation video, you see I also include a PDF of all of the lecture notes that are on the YouTube videos in case you want to print them, view them more slowly or at your own pace, download them, whatever works best for you. You should be also practicing all of the solutions to end of chapter problems. Again, if you watch the orientation video, you see are there in Blackboard in the exercises and problem solutions folder in the content menu. And that's the lecture video. So it's an hour to read the chapters, another hour to view my lectures. It might take you longer because you can slow them down, speed them up, review them again. Again, it's what works for you. What I'm saying is probably a minimum of an hour that's spent on those two areas. Notice you're not getting graded to read. You're not being graded just to view my video lectures. They're meant to help you to do well on what is graded. The third thing that you see here is you must log into Connect LearnSmart through the link that I have in Blackboard, again, that I've showed you a number of times already here. Or if you happen to be here in the syllabus, here, or just cutting and pasting it into your browser. But you should be practicing problems 1 to 2 hours per week. Again, they're not graded. They're just practice problems that are embedded in the lecture in case you want to practice them on your own. But these bulleted items that are highlighted in yellow are graded every week. So when you log into Connect LearnSmart, there are 4 items listed for each chapter, as you saw if you reviewed the class orientation video. And if you haven't done so, you really must, so that you can see how that works, because I actually do log in and show you how to connect. You'll have interactive presentations. You click on that and Connect LearnSmart for each chapter and complete the assignment. LearnSmart assignments, same thing. They're little video vignettes, and you answer questions based on that. Homework assignments is the most lengthy. That's going to take you 2 to 3 hours at least, maybe more, but minimum probably 2.5 hours to get all your homework assignments done that are graded, again, in Connect LearnSmart. Finally, the quizzes in Connect LearnSmart. There'll be about a half hour each, depending upon how long it takes you to do the assignments, but I'll show you that a little bit later in terms of how long you'll have to do those, but it's about a half hour. But I'll give you more than that to actually complete. I'm just giving estimates on time here. Now, for the 4 exams that you have during the course of the semester, those exams will also be administered in Connect LearnSmart. So really that's your hub. Connect LearnSmart is your hub for actually getting most of the graded work done for the class. So on the weeks where you have an exam, this is important to read here, there's 4 of them during the semester, and they're on the weeks indicated in the outline. I prepare the exams to take you about 2 to 3 hours to complete. That's a rough estimate, but you are given a 4-hour time limit. So I add an extra hour at minimum so that you should have plenty of time to complete the exam. But you should commit at least 2 hours. I strongly suggest you sit down and you commit the full 4 hours to take that exam, just in case anything goes wrong. Because, and you can see that's why I have it highlighted here. If you commit 4 hours to that exam, then there's going to be never a question whether you can finish on time. The reason why is that the way the exam is set up, once you start the exam, you must finish it in that one sitting. You can't save it and go back. It's just like taking an exam in class. So that's why I say make sure that once you log on, once you click on the exam for that week, for those chapters, you make sure that you're available to sit there for the entire exam, at least 4 hours just in case you need it. You might finish way sooner and that's okay, but you don't want to have the problem of not having enough time. I've done it this way for a number of years and students seem to like that. It's very comfortable. You don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, is the exam going to time out on me? It only will if you sit there past 4 hours, but you won't. I mean, if you're methodical, and even though I know, you're looking up in your book, and you can use anything you want to take the exam in terms of materials, my lectures, your textbook, and whatever works for you. But you have to be somewhat methodical, but 4 hours is plenty of time. The exams, you'll see when we get there, they include objective questions and problem solving, and they're very much like what you take for the quizzes and do for homework. So whatever you complete here for your quizzes and your homework assignments each week, there'll be no surprises on the exams. The exams are really very much like the questions you answer every week for your homework and quizzes, so that you're familiar, you're comfortable with the material, and you're also comfortable with the way you're graded and in terms of how the questions are posed. Again, if you haven't done so, very important that you view the class orientation video so that you're familiar with the mechanical aspects of Connect Learn Smart. So again, that's about the exams. When we see the course outline for the semester, we'll go back and you'll be able to see how that's all works with due dates. You'll also have discussion board prompts that are in, and again, if you looked at the orientation video, I hate to keep sounding like a broken record, but you really need to view that video first. The discussion board might take you up to a half hour a week. It could take you an infinite number of hours per week. Again, the discussion board is not graded. The discussion board threads, I have prompts in there for every single chapter, and they are for you to post all questions related to that chapter. You create a thread, and again, go back to the orientation video, you'll see how to do that. You create a thread with a question on that chapter. It gets posted so the entire class can see it. Then I can respond to your questions, and your classmates can respond to your questions or concerns. If you have questions that are outside of that chapter, that's fine too. You can post them there. And if you're not comfortable, the option to email me always exists. The only reason I like you posting to the discussion board is that your classmates can benefit by your questions and by interacting with you and with me to get the answers that are so critical to being successful in that chapter and throughout the course. There's only one required discussion board prompt for the semester, and that's the first one that is due by Wednesday, August 24th at 11 p.m. You must complete the Introduce Yourself discussion board by 11 p.m. on August 24th. Again, in the discussion board, I'll go back to show you what that looks like in Blackboard. There's a series of prompts. The first one is here. It's called the Introduce Yourself prompt. You must respond to that prompt again if you click on that prompt, you're going to see the question again. There's no threads created. You're going to create a thread. So click on that and create a thread. You're probably familiar if you're with online classes and how that works, where you are going to give me or tell me your name, why you're taking this class, your experiences, if any, with online classes, to give me an idea of kind of what level of experience you have, so I know what pace to work with you at, and describe at least one successful outcome for you as a result of this class. What do you expect to get as a result of taking this class? You respond to that by 11 p.m. on August 24th, and you're good to go. The rest of the posts during the semester, you can see they're all identical except they're different chapters. It's for you to post questions related to that chapter or the course in general, and I'll always reply. And over the years, I found even your classmates will reply with some very, very good responses and advice throughout the semester. So please, by August 24th at 11 p.m., you've got to have that. It's highlighted here. You're not graded on it. It's for me to give me an indication that you are indeed intend on staying in the course and you don't plan on dropping and you haven't disappeared on me. If you don't respond by August 24th, as you can see here, you'll be dropped from the course. So it's very, very important. 11 p.m. August 24th. Did I say 11 p.m. August 24th? Enough times? Okay, so that's the only one that's required. So the things that you're graded on regularly: weekly, interactive presentations, LearnSmart, homework and quizzes, all in Connect LearnSmart, and the exams that you have, 4 of them throughout the semester, all administered through Connect LearnSmart. That's how you earn your points weekly in the class. And if you, again, went to the course orientation video, you see I do my grading. Usually on Sundays, I'll post your points and you'll get a message from me that says your points have been updated in Blackboard, along with earlier in the day probably an announcement from me that reminds you that we've started a new week and what's required. All right, attendance in the course, it's an online course, so you're working at your own pace. I understand that. Other than having to have that introduce yourself discussion board post to me by August 24th at 11, you may be dropped at any time during the course if you're not progressing. But what I'll do is I'll always email you to say, hey, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. You haven't posted anything. You haven't completed assignments in 2 weeks or however long it's been. So that I don't want you to fail the course. So if you don't turn anything in and the time goes on, you'll end up just getting an F. Getting a W is much, much better for your transcript than earning an F. All right, so again, review that section. One of the most important for the course, again, that section, weekly course and instructor contact for the class, along with how much time you should be spending. If you're not spending that much time and you're not doing well, it tells you should be spending more. All right, also check your Blackboard announcements daily. Again, there's no time commitment with that one. They're there. But as you learned in the orientation video, I'll also send those announcements via email. So please check your email regularly, just as I do. You may email me anytime with any questions at all, and I'll respond within 24 hours, usually way less than that. And I'll always offer responses and constructive suggestions throughout the semester. So weekly, I'll give you encouragement to make sure that you're staying on the right track, make sure that you are still with me. I'll send general announcements to the class or emails to the class, and I'll also contact you individually as you can contact me individually. All right, we already went through attendance, so hopefully all of that makes sense. Probably another section you're most concerned about, or at least in the top couple of things you're concerned about, are the grading requirements. All those things we just talked about, or I just introduced to you in the syllabus, each of the 4 things you do in Connect LearnSmart weekly, interactive presentations, there are 13 of them because there's 13 chapters, all worth 10 points per week, totaling 130 each. And then there's the 4 exams that are each also worth, not also, but worth 400 points for the semester in total. So the total possible points for the course are 920. Every week, like I said, on Sundays, I will post your point totals. I will add to all of your point totals every Sunday so you can see how you're doing. But if you have any questions ever on your grade or your points earned, you should always contact me directly so that I can hear your concerns and go back and make sure that your grade is accurate. So please never hesitate to ask me about how you're doing, or if you don't understand what you've earned to date, I'm happy to answer that. All right, so if you notice here, the online requirements regarding LearnSmart and Connect are worth more than the total points for the exams. So it's very critical that you're keeping up with your weekly work. The one thing that always gets people, if they're going to have a problem with this online class, is they procrastinate, don't get all of their work done each week by 11 p.m. on Saturday when the time is up for that week, and they end up losing a lot of points. You can do well on all 4 of the exams, and if you don't do well weekly, which is really the way I'm going to be able to evaluate whether or not you know and you've developed the skills required of this financial accounting course, then you're not going to end up doing well, and you certainly won't have the skills to move on in your accounting studies or in the profession. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. And you'll see after the first week, and you get used to the communications from me, and how the pace that we work at, and when I actually post things, I think you're going to find that week to week I'm extremely consistent. There are no surprises. You'll get messages from me about the same time every week, and you'll also be able to plan based upon what's due every week because of the way I have the course paced for you. All right, once that's accomplished and the semester's all said and done, here's the corresponding letter grades and the number of points that you must earn to get those letter grades. Just for an example, 888 to 920 points would be an A+, 851 to 887 would be an A, and so on. Not even going to look at F or D because no one in this class is going to earn an F or D, right? My job is to make sure you do well in this course, and believe me, I think when you go through it, you're going to find that I really am working hard for you, and I really do want you to do well in this course. So please, please use me as your resource and your instructor to do well. Okay, here's the explanation of the grading requirements that I just went over. All grading requirements are due by 11 p.m. on Saturdays, beginning with Chapter 1. That's due at 11 p.m. or by 11 p.m. on Saturday, August 27th. Each week begins Sunday mornings at 12 a.m. or midnight. You'll find that I'll always have 2 chapters open at a time. So although the class for week 1 starts on Sunday morning at midnight, August 21st, you're going to see that chapters 1 and 2 are open. Then in week 2, after 11 p.m. closes on August 27th, I will open up chapter 3. So chapters 2 and 3 will be open. Hopefully that makes sense, but you'll see the flow when you actually log into Connect LearnSmart every time. You'll see what's open each week and the dates that everything is due, so I make it very, very simple for you. They're grouped, all the assignments are grouped by chapter, so you really can't go wrong. There's no makeups on the work required for the course. If you do have extenuating circumstances, please contact me. Don't contact me after the fact and say, oops, it's a week later. I missed the Chapter 2 interactive presentations assignment. There's really not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do for you at that point. Actually, nothing I can do with you. I understand life happens. We have family. We have commitments. We have issues to deal with. As long as they're extenuating, it's not, oh, I slept through the alarm clock or all week, or, I just was tired this week so I didn't get to it. I understand about life, especially being students. I was a student once too, though, a long time ago. So certainly make sure that I know ahead of time. Like I said, I always respond within 24 hours, so I won't leave you hanging. All right, adding and dropping the class. The last day to add this class, since you're viewing this video, you're already in the class, is September 2nd, which is also the last day to drop the class with no grade and apply for a refund. So if you don't drop by September 2nd, if that's what you're inclined to do, you're going to get a letter grade in the, you'll be kept on my roster. You won't necessarily get a letter grade, but the minimum grade you could earn is a W at that point. If you drop by September 2nd, there's nothing on your transcript as a result. The last day to drop the class with a grade of W is November 10th. If you drop on or before November 10th, but after September 2nd, you will be assigned a grade of W. After November 10th, I have to assign you a letter grade, A through F, or A+ through F. So please, if you're going to drop the course, and I'll send reminders about that, and just in case you're thinking about it, and you can actually contact me for advice on what you should do as well. But after November 10th, I can't do anything regarding your grade. You must be assigned a letter grade. All right, for accommodations, here's a page on accommodations. I won't read through all of those, but students with disabilities are addressed here. Also, supervised tutoring services that are available at Grossmont College are here, along with the contact information. So please read this page. This is page 5 of the syllabus for all of the accommodations and how to get supervised tutoring. At some point, I will know who the accounting tutor or tutors will be, and once I know that, I usually get an announcement from the department. I will send that information off to you, probably posting it as an announcement in Blackboard that I leave as a permanent announcement, just in case you want to make an appointment with the accounting tutor. So there's accommodations and supervised tutoring. Okay, we move on. Page 6 of the syllabus is what I like to call the course outline for this semester, Fall 2016, which runs August 22nd, 2016 through December 17th, 2016. I have outlined week to week. I'll just scroll a little bit so you can see for the entire semester what we're covering and what is due. So again, August 22nd is the official start date of the semester for Grossmont College. That's a Monday. But as I said, you probably have an email from me by now already that says everything is open and available to you. You probably got that email, or if you haven't, you'll get it. But I send out the email to all of my students the week before the actual start date of class. And you'll see on August 22nd, or 21st rather, at midnight, I'll actually have chapters 1 and 2 open for you. Chapter 1 is due Saturday, August 27th at 11 p.m. Chapter 2, Saturday, September 3rd at 11 p.m. Also, don't forget, did I mention the Introduce Yourself discussion board post? Please have that done and posted by the 24th at 11. And then after Saturday at 11 p.m., Chapter 1 will disappear from Connect LearnSmart. So will the discussion board post after August 24th at 11. On August 28th at midnight, Chapters 2 and 3 will be available in Blackboard and Connect LearnSmart. And so on. Your first exam, as you can see here, is chapters 1, 2, and 3 is September 11th. But since there's no other requirements in that week, you'll see that in that particular week, I'll have Chapter 1 open for the exam on Exam 1 open on Chapters 1, 2, and 3, along with Chapter 4 will be open in Connect LearnSmart. So what I'm basically getting at is that every week there are the next 2 chapters that are open. Again, you'll get the hang of it after we start week 1 and you start to get communications from me. I send a lot of reminders that students, they tell me they love it because they get all the reminders, whether it's posted as an announcement in Blackboard or an email. They look at it at their phone, they know something's due, they know they're behind schedule and they need to get going or whatever. So there's the 17 weeks outlined. Our final exam week is December 11th. You can see there it's not a final exam that you have during that week. It's only exam number 4. There is no cumulative final in the course. That week you'll be taking exam number 4 out of 4, which is really on only chapters 11, 12, and 13. Notice all of your graded online requirements are completed in Connect LearnSmart. So really, if you're in Connect LearnSmart, you're set. What Blackboard is used for, primarily, if you, again, looked at the course orientation video, is all of what I have contained in the course content menu. I'm not going to review them here. You'll see chock full of information are these 4 menu items that you need to do on a weekly basis and that I have already outlined earlier in this syllabus orientation. So if you go back just one more time to what's required in the course, your weekly course and instructor contact is here. All of that is contained in Blackboard. The 4 highlighted items, which is what you graded on each week, are highlighted in yellow and are in Connect LearnSmart. The grading requirements I'm scrolling past. The policies for the class regarding makeups and adding and dropping. The accommodations page, page 5. We just went over the course outline, what we're going to cover and what is graded and when things are due. Even though I told you every Saturday at 11, I repeat it here on a weekly basis so you know exactly what Saturday that is. Let's scroll through. And at the bottom, basically what I just restated here was the login URL for our course in Connect LearnSmart. Again, the syllabus, as always with all of your instructors, is subject to change by the instructor. I can't remember the last time I've changed any component of a syllabus for any reason, but things can happen. You know, a few years ago, you had the fires that affected Grossmont College, and the college had to be closed for a while, so your instructors had to scramble to make adjustments to the syllabus to make sure material was covered. But outside of anything really unusual happening, what you have in the syllabus for this course is going to be what it is for the semester. And then the last page, as I showed you earlier, page 7 of 7, the syllabus is the registration information for Connect LearnSmart that you can use in case you get stuck and you forget, or you don't really remember how to log in and how to access Connect LearnSmart. So it's not a long syllabus. I tried to keep things as concise as possible. It's 7 pages in length. It's in PDF, so you can download it and save it, print it, do whatever you like, and whatever works best for you. I know sometimes I like to print certain things when I was taking a class, even though there was no such thing as online classes when I studied accounting, so there was a lot of paper involved. But that's it. I mean, there's the course syllabus. I hope that makes sense to you. If not, please do email me. Or if the class is already started, you can certainly post a question to the Chapter 1 forum in the discussion board, and I'll be happy to answer any questions in general about the course or about the syllabus. I also hope this orientation to the syllabus video was very helpful to you. Again, I remind you to go back and look at the other video that I've posted, which is called the class orientation video, which walks you through all of the resources that are available in Blackboard, including what you're going to be doing to study each chapter. For example, the solutions to the end of chapter problems and exercises, my lecture videos, and so on. Thank you for watching this video. It is my honor and privilege to be your instructor for this fall 2016 semester. I know and I guarantee that you will do well in this class as long as you stay consistent, be methodical, pace yourself, don't procrastinate, and most of all, count on me as your instructor for this course to not only be your instructor and to have that contact with you and that effective contact with you every week, but also to be a sounding board for you and to assist you in making sure that you are doing well. Thank you very much. That concludes this video on the course syllabus for the fall 2016 semester, Business 120, Section 2318 for Grossmont College. Have a great week, and I look forward to working with you throughout the semester.